So for economy section, which falls under the general studies paper 3, there are some of the important topics which becomes very important. So the economy section is generally around 100 marks in GS paper 3 out of the 250 marks. So that forms a big chunk. So if we are having a good command over economics, then we can have good, we can predict some of the questions by looking at the PYQs and by looking at the syllabus. So we'll look at some of the important topics that are there in the economy section. So the first is generally the questions are asked in mains from growth and development and happiness. This is a key area from which questions are asked. Money and banking is also a key area. Inclusive and financial growth is inclusive growth is something that is asked repeatedly. Almost every alternate year they ask something about inclusive growth. Then financial market is also important. We also have balance of payment. Agriculture sector in particularly, it becomes very important for GS3 because a large number of questions are being asked repeatedly from this section. Food processing sector is one topic from which questions are repeatedly asked almost every year or every alternate year they are asking because of the significance that it is getting nowadays. Okay. Then industrial sector again becomes very important because of India's economic structure that is there. We have MSMEs, large number of MSMEs. So industrial sector again becomes very important. Infrastructure is key to development and other aspects of development. So infrastructure is also like roadways, railways, ports, and they become very important. Services is key to Indian economy. So there are questions sometimes asked. Poverty is a big challenge for India. So questions are asked how to mitigate poverty, what are the different causes, what is the vicious loop of poverty, what is the paradox of poverty. So they ask such questions from these topics. And this is something that we can prepare beforehand only. So that at least we have something in our head while we are approaching and while we are seeing some question in the examinations. So that would be it for the economic sections.
Section for mains perspective.
Yeah, it is for mains perspective mainly, but the key concepts that are there, that is, for instance, for money and banking, there would be other like the income accounting. So it becomes important from prelims perspective. So like the topic of inflation, the topic of fiscal policy, something related to taxation. So it becomes important from the prelims perspective. So something that becomes important from prelims perspective is that you have a good hold over the key concepts that are there. You have a good understanding about them. What is inflation? We start with this. Then connecting it to money supply. So what they do in the real examination is they interconnect the topics. That how the exports are impacted because of inflation, how the current oil crisis that is going, what is imported inflation. So reading a topic from different dimensions, it becomes very important. And all the more that is more important is the interconnections that we establish between these topics. So that becomes very crucial. Yeah, we can do that. So if there's an issue that is going on, currency depreciation is going on. So how can we connect it to India's context? How can we connect it to inflation, to exports and imports? So these interconnections becomes important. So once you are reading the concept, just think about it, how this can be interconnected. And when you'll solve questions of a similar nature, you'll see that as well. Okay.